Have you ever tripped over thin air, face planted for absolutely no reason? Welcome to my world, the wonderfully unpredictable world of foot drop. It's like having an invisible garden hose attached to your foot, just waiting to snag on the slightest bump. Except there's no hose, just me, sprawled on the floor contemplating my life choices. The worst part? People staring. They look at me like I'm some kind of clumsy, floor-loving weirdo. Little do they know I'm battling a neurological condition. My brain's like, lift your foot, and my foot's all, nah, I'm good down here. It's a constant power struggle, and trust me, my brain is losing. One time, I swear, I tripped over a dust bunny. A dust bunny! It was mortifying. I tried to play it cool, but the damage was done. My pride was bruised, my ego was deflated, and my knee was now sporting a lovely new shade of purple. Sigh. The glamorous life of someone with foot drop. But hey, at least it makes for a good story, right? Foot drop. The name itself sounds so nonchalant, doesn't it? Like it's just a minor inconvenience, a quirky little quirk? Let me tell you, it's anything but. It's more like foot stuck, foot dragging, or foot, why are you betraying me like this? Imagine this. You're walking down the street, minding your own business, when suddenly, BAM! Your foot decides to take a nap, mid-stride, without warning. It's like your foot has a mind of its own, and that mind is determined to make you look like a fool. And the worst part? It happens everywhere. At the grocery store, in the park, even, God forbid, in the middle of a crowded street. It's like my foot has a sixth sense for embarrassment. It knows exactly when and where to stage its little rebellions, and it does so with gusto. So no, footloose and fancy-free are not exactly the words I'd use to describe my life with foot drop. More like foot-trapped and constantly terrified of falling. But hey, who needs dignity when you've got a neurological condition to keep you humble, right? Now, you might think that living with a condition that makes you trip over air would inspire a certain level of grace and agility. You would be wrong. Oh, so very wrong. In my quest to outsmart my own foot, I have become a master of the awkward, a virtuoso of the ungainly. My signature move, the leg swing. Picture this. I'm walking along, feeling good, when suddenly I sense the telltale drop. Do I panic? Do I succumb to the inevitable faceplant? No, sir. I channel my inner rocket and execute a swift, high-stepping leg swing. It's a sight to behold, I tell you. Graceful? Not so much. Effective? Debatable? Humorous? Absolutely. But wait, there's more. My repertoire of compensatory movements also includes the toe tap, desperately trying to wake my foot up, the ankle lock, turning my ankle outward in a desperate attempt to engage the muscles, and the shuffle, because who needs to lift their feet anyway? It's a one-person comedy show, and the best part is, the audience never knows what's coming next. Section 4. Life hacks for the foot droppy. Embrace the awkward. Living with foot drop is like playing a never-ending game of the floor is lava. You're constantly on edge, scanning the ground for potential trip hazards which, let's be honest, could be anything. But fear not, my fellow foot droppers. I have learned a thing or two about navigating this treacherous world, and I'm here to share my wisdom, such as it is. First and foremost, embrace the awkward. Seriously. The sooner you accept that you will trip, stumble, and flail your limbs with alarming regularity, the better. Laugh at yourself, make a joke out of it, and move on. Life's too short to be self-conscious about a rogue foot. Second, become a master of disguise. No, I'm not talking about wearing a fake mustache and sunglasses. Although, that's not a bad idea. I'm talking about finding creative ways to camouflage your foot drop. Long pants, strategic shoe choices, even a well-placed walking stick. It's all fair game. The goal is to blend in, to become one with the crowd, to avoid becoming the star of the show for all the wrong reasons. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. Whether it's asking a friend to walk a little slower, requesting a seat closer to the front of the bus, or simply explaining your condition to someone who looks confused, speaking up can make all the difference. Remember, there's no shame in needing a little assistance now and then. After all, we're all just trying to navigate this crazy thing called life, one awkward step at a time. Section 5, Adventures in AFOs, my plastic fantastic friend. So remember that invisible garden hose I mentioned earlier? Turns out there's a way to fight back. It's called an AFO, which stands for ankle-foot orthosis. Basically, it's a fancy word for plastic boot. Stylish, right? At first I was skeptical. A giant hunk of plastic on my leg, I thought? No way. But let me tell you, this thing is a game changer. It's like having a personal foot-lifting assistant, only instead of being a charming British butler, it's a hunk of plastic. Walking with an AFO takes some getting used to. It's like learning to walk all over again. But this time, with a robot sidekick strapped to your leg. But once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. No more tripping over air, no more awkward leg swings, no more feeling like your foot is out to get you. Just smooth sailing. Well, smoother sailing anyway. Section 6, foot drop. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon that I might trip in. Living with foot drop is an adventure, to say the least. It's a crash course in patience, resilience, and the fine art of laughing at yourself. It's about finding humor in the unexpected, embracing the awkward, and never, ever underestimating the power of a good leg swing. But most importantly, it's about remembering that we're not alone. There's a whole community of us out there, navigating the world one clumsy step at a time. So if you see someone struggling to lift their foot, don't stare. Offer a smile, lend a hand, and maybe share a laugh. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to find our footing, one hilarious mishap at a time.